Oh man, welcome man. A lot of injuries in the NFL for week 5. I hope those players get healthy, have speedy recoveries. Injuries are going crazy in the NFL currently. Um, and let's talk post game, not post game as in after a sporting event, but post game as in low post, mid post, high post game sports. So let's get it started right off the bat. I'm just giving y'all my week 5 NFL thoughts today. The Raiders and Colts, my Indianapolis Colts. The Colts get a huge victory. They go 40-6 against the Raiders. And my takeaway from this game is, can the Colts actually be a Super Bowl threat? I really like this team. It's one of the better Colts teams in the last few years. Jonathan Taylor, can he be the AFC Offensive Player of the Year? 17 carries, 66 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He also has 3 catches for 20 yards. Indianapolis looks really good, especially on defense. That offense is moving. Shane Steichen is doing one heck of a job. Shout out to the Indianapolis Colts. My questions for the Raiders are, should they make a trade for a quarterback? Maybe Shador Sanders? Because it doesn't look like the Cleveland Browns are going to use him like they should, but we'll get to that later. Geno Smith just doesn't look very good, throwing 2 interceptions in this game. So we'll see what happens. Broncos 21, Eagles 17. The Broncos come back after trailing 14 points in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix, clutch. Bo Nix was just clutch. He conducted a 3 scoring drive. He had 3 scoring drives in the fourth quarter to lead the Broncos to an upset win against the Eagles at home. My thoughts on this game is that Saquon Barkley just doesn't look very well when it comes to running the ball, at least. He goes 6 for 30, but he did a little damage in the passing game. He did see 3 catches for 58 yards and a touchdown. So we'll see if the Eagles can get that running game going. They still are atop the AFC or the NFC East. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of chatter on social media going on with AJ Brown and those receivers. But we'll see what happens. I still like this team to repeat as NFC East champions. They got the Giants Thursday night, so let's see if they can rebound. Dolphins 24, Panthers 27. Bryce Young hits former Notre Dame tight end Mitchell Evans for the go-ahead touchdown with 1 minute and 59 seconds left on the clock. I don't see how anybody loses to the Carolina Panthers right now, but shout out to them for getting a good win. My question for the Dolphins are, why can't you get Devon Achane rolling in the running game? Yes, he does some damage in the passing game, but 10 carries for 16 yards in the running game just ain't going to get it done. They need to feed this man the rock. 6 catches, 30 yards and a touchdown. And how about Darren Waller, after being retired, coming back, 5 catches, 78 yards and a touchdown. And one of the biggest takeaways from this game is Mike McDaniel in big trouble because the Dolphins are 1-4. Obviously, they lost Tyreek Hill. They still got Waddle. Like I spoke about, they still got Waller. Achane is a monster. They should be able to beat this Carolina team. So it'd be interesting to see what goes on as far as their coach goes. One of the surprises of the week, at least for me, the Cowboys and Jets. Cowboys 37, Jets 22. Cowboys dominate with only one regularly started offensive lineman in this game. I really expected this Jets team to get after Dak Prescott, seeing the injuries they had on the offensive line, but they were not able to do anything with this Cowboys offense. And Dak Prescott goes 18 for 29, 237 yards and 4 touchdowns. If the Cowboys can win enough games, Dak Prescott could be the league MVP. But we'll see how that unfolds. Javonte Williams, the running back for the Cowboys, looks like the steal of the offseason. A lot of people thought after injury he'll never be the same. He didn't have the best season coming off an injury for the Denver Broncos, but he has rebounded. He looks really good. I mean, 16 carries, 135 yards, and a touchdown. The Jets should have dominated the line of scrimmage. They moved to 0-5. Could their first year coach be in trouble? That's something we're going to have to monitor. Texans 44, Ravens 10. The Texans did what they were supposed to do with the Ravens being so banged up in this game. All type of players out on defense, missing Lamar Jackson. So the biggest question in this game after the Texans dominate is, can the Ravens rebound? Can they get healthy and rebound and make a playoff push? Because if they miss the playoffs this year, it'd be extremely disappointing. Giants 14, Saints 26. Both teams moved to 1-4. Could Brian Daboll and that whole administration be fired later on today? It's Monday. So that's a serious question, because for some reason, and I don't know why, but that whole administration has been given a lot of grace. Jackson Dart had a couple of interceptions in this game. Spencer Rattler is probably playing better than a lot of people expected. A lot of people didn't like that quarterback situation in New Orleans, and rightfully so, but Spencer Rattler is looking like an NFL quarterback, and New Orleans gets a big win. And there's been a lot of talks about the Saints and if they're going to move some of their veteran players in trades before the trade deadline. So that's something to look out for. The Buccaneers 38, the Seahawks 35. Bucks win, kicking a 39-yard field goal as time expired. Bucks put themselves in a good position to win the NFC South again this year. And Emeka Egbuka just might be the steal of the draft thus far this season. 7 targets, 7 catches, 163 yards and a touchdown. Just a big game for him. Baker Mayfield is playing wonderful. Hopefully they can get their running back, Bucky Irvin, back healthy real soon. But this Bucks team showed a lot of grit and heart in this game, and they get the big victory on the road against a good Seahawks team. So we'll see what happens once they get Bucky back healthy. But Emeka Egbuka, and once they get Mike Evans back healthy, Emeka Egbuka looks amazing, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, I should say. So it's going to be exciting to see what the Buccaneers can be once they get fully healthy. Titans 22, Cardinals 21. Titans come back and get their first victory of the season. They were down 21-6 in the fourth quarter. Calvin Ridley finally has a good game. He goes 5 catches, 131 yards on 10 targets. Cardinals are just not getting it done, folks. Excuse me. I don't understand. Kyler Murray is not looking like the player that I thought he would be going first overall a few years ago. They don't seem to have a lot of chemistry on that offense. And I just think, no hate towards the shorter people, but just playing the quarterback position in the NFL at that height, man, is detrimental. You see the same thing in college with Castellanos with Florida State. Very similar player to Kyler Murray. So it's going to be interesting to see the type of moves in the offseason the Arizona Cardinals make, because I don't believe they're going anywhere this season. And that's really sad for guys like Marv Harrison Jr., who I think is a stud, but is in the wrong situation. Commanders 27, Chargers 10. Rookie Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt had his breakout game. 14 carries, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. So it's interesting to see that kid moving forward. I felt like he was a late round steal for the Commanders. As far as the Chargers go, what the heck is happening? What's going on? They dropped their second game in a row, losing to the Giants and now the Commanders. They lose to two NFC East teams, and that offense is really talented. Marion Hampton was seen in a walking boot, so we'll see what his status will be for next week. But when you guys got when the Chargers got guys like Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, and Lad McConkey, you expect them to put up more than 10 points. Justin Herbert, he's got a couple years under him now. He should be willing and dealing. The Chargers should not be losing to the Giants and maybe not even the Commanders, who might just be in play to win the NFC East this season. So we'll see what happens. The Vikings 21, the Browns 17. I picked the Browns in this game. I thought their defense would have a day. I thought they would turn over Carson Wentz plentiful, and I thought they would be able to run the ball with Junkins. And Justin Jefferson can play with any quarterback. 7 catches, 123 yards on 11 targets. Gabriel wasn't horrible, but I can see that his height is going to be an issue moving forward. And my only question is, when do we see Shedeur Sanders? I'm sure a lot of the Cleveland Brown fans are ready for it. He's been patiently waiting. I think he's a better quarterback than Dylan Gabriel, but we'll see what happens. Possibly he gets traded. Lions 37, Bengals 24. Jake Browning can't continue to turn the ball over like that. There's no reason for Joe Burrow to return later on this season if the Bengals can't win another game. Now, Jamar Chase does go for 6 catches, 110 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He probably should have had more. He should have had a much crazier stat line. But, the quarterback just can't get it done. The Detroit Lions, in my opinion, remain a contender. But that defense is very suspect. So they'll have to rely on their offense as their defense comes along. Hopefully they can get their defense in shape to make another Super Bowl run or push. The Patriots 23, the Bills 20. Turnovers played a key factor in the Bills losing this game as they had 2 fumbles and an interception. And my question is, why aren't the Patriots giving Henderson more carries? It's interesting. And Stephon Diggs looks to be back after injury. 12 targets, 10 catches, 146 yards today or last night. Stephon Diggs looks good. Could the Patriots win the AFC East, or did they just catch the Bills snoozing? I don't know. That's going to be very interesting to see. And that's all I got for y'all. A quick rundown of week 5 of the NFL action. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get me over 200 subs. We working hard. We do this for the people, and we love sports. Shout out to y'all. Peace out.